All right, well, we're sitting here right now. It is the last couple of minutes of the InfoComm show. We're sitting here at the Digital Signage Theater right in front of the Digital Signage Showcase Pavilion, put on so kindly by Mike White and the Multimedia Solutions folks. Lyle, thanks so much for joining us. It's always great. You're actually our 100th interview that we've done this year. So we were going to have balloons and everything, but this will have to suffice with the digital signage as the celebration. But we want to hear from you, considering that you were monitoring, you introduced almost everybody that came up here, including myself here at the Digital Signage Theater. What are some of the key takeaways that you heard people talking about here over the past couple of days?
That's a big question, but if I could put it in a word, the key takeaway at InfoComm 11 related to digital signage is collaboration.
Great.
Absolutely, everybody gets that there cannot be an army of individuals. As a matter of fact, I believe I've heard about 5 times people describe that digital signage has been 1,000 points of light, and its future is in it being a village.
Yeah. Well, I think that that's certainly something that's key. We've seen how collaboration yourself, collaborating now with Alan Braun a little bit on some of the education, a lot of the companies, Minicom and Enki coming together as well. We're starting to see that happening. I think you're right that the village effect is going to be pretty strong. Talk about how the digital signage space here at InfoComm has been changing over the past couple of years. I don't want to just assume that it's been growing, but I'm seeing digital signage stuff all over the place. So how has that been changing?
Well, I'm from Missouri when it comes time to change. You can hear about the change that's in the ether, but for me, frankly, it's in the numbers.
Okay.
So the sessions here have had triple the number of delegates that similar sessions last year only would have had. So a session that might have had 30 people last year, this year had pre-registration of 100. Tony, we have delivered 45 sessions in this show floor theater, and every single one of them has had 30 people in them at least. Interestingly, a different 30 every time. Yeah. So it's not the same faces kind of putting their bum in a seat early to get the latest. So a huge number of people have heard a wide range of perspectives in case studies, in interviews, in presentation. So there's been a real appetite for education here, much more than has ever been the case in the past. There are about 45 vendors that are primarily dynamic signage, primarily digital signage. But what I would reflect is that of the 900 exhibitors in total here, many of the booths now have some element of digital signage technology or service available in them. The other thing that I would cite is that virtually every booth here, now granted this is InfoComm, the AV integrator, but every single booth itself has digital signage to help explain that vendor's story. And by the way, the content has been absolutely beautiful here. This is very different from us being at a similar show, some of the industry shows, frankly, only last year and the year before. So it's as if everybody gets the message. The technology infrastructure is the highway. Let's get the content right because it delivers the results. That is a chasm that has been crossed.
Absolutely, and now it's one of the great things that I think we've seen throughout is just people understanding that digital signage is becoming a crucial element, whether they're using it or whether they're selling it. So I think that kind of rapid-fire catch-on is something that we're finally looking for. If I might ask you one more question, leading up into the summertime, things kind of tend to die down a little bit. It's already like 150 degrees outside here, but how do people keep up the push over the summertime, even though the next kind of major group of shows isn't until the late fall? How do you kind of keep that energy going through the summertime? Or do you just hole up on your boat and lay on the waves?
You know, industries that are growing at 20 and 30% compounding year after year don't take the summer off. Matter of fact, they hardly take Christmas off. Yeah. And so everybody that I've talked to and end user organizations are still going full out.
Right.
The suppliers are going full out to try and respond. And end user organizations know that they're going to get competitive advantage from their use of this media. And they're not taking the summer off either.
Right.
As a matter of fact, summer becomes an escalated time of activity because in retail, we know that everything has to be locked in before Thanksgiving. And so that's summertime activity. Certainly in the campus environment, everything has got to be locked down by September. So the summer is actually about the busiest time of the year. I'm sort of thankful that there are no conferences, no large ones anyway in the summertime. So full steam ahead. These events serve as a wonderful watering hole, in the landscape, in the Serengeti that is media out there. Yeah. These events are a wonderful watering hole where you're going to gather with others who have a passion or an intense interest. And so it's good that we have major events like InfoComm, like Digital Signage Expo, like Customer Engagement Technology World, and we also have some periphery events around them that serve to allow people to gather, have face time, see the demonstrations, to very cost-effectively keep abreast and advance their capabilities. So it's time to go to work as soon as that 4 o'clock bell rings here.
Well, there we go. It's time to go to work. So, Lyle, thank you so much for all of your hard work here at the Digital Signage Theater, for your work at the education, and for your interview that we did with me as well. So,
my pleasure,
we look forward
Tony.
to the next
Thank
one
you.
we have. Thanks, Lyle.